Back to Judith from the complete 54 book Apocrypha. We will be reading chapters 9, 10, and 11. But Judith fell on her face and put ashes on her head and uncovered the sackcloth which she had been clothed. The incense of that evening was now being offered at Jerusalem in the house of God. And Judith cried to the Lord with a loud voice and said, O Lord God of my father Simeon, in whose hand you gave a sword to take vengeance on the strangers who loosened the belt of a virgin to defile her, uncovered the thigh to her shame, and profaned the womb to her reproach. For you said, it will not be so. And they did so. Therefore, you gave their rulers to be slain, and their bed, which was ashamed for her who was deceived, to be dyed in blood, and struck the servants with their masters, and the masters on their thrones, and gave their wives for a prey, and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoils to be divided among your dear children, which were moved with zeal for you, and abhorred the pollution of their blood, and called on you for aid. O God, oh my God, hear me, who am also a widow. For you did the things that were before those things, and those things and such as come after. And you planned the things which are now, and the things which are to come. The things which you planned came to pass. Yes, the things which you determined should be before you, and said, behold, we are here. For all your ways are prepared, and your judgment is with foreknowledge. For behold, the Assyrians are multiplied in their power. They are exalted with horse and rider. They were proud of the strength of their footmen. They have trusted in shield, spear, bow, and sling. They do not know that you are the Lord who breaks the battles. The Lord is your name. Break their strength in your power and bring down their force in your wrath. For they intend to profane your sanctuary and to defile the dwelling place where your glorious name rests, and to destroy the horn of your altar with the sword. Look at their pride and send your wrath on their heads. Give into my hand, which am a widow, the might that I have conceived. Strike by the deceit of my lips the servant with the prince, and the prince with his servant. Break down their arrogance by the hand of a woman. For your power stands not in multitude, nor your might in strong men, but you are a God of the afflicted. You are a helper of the minorities, a helper of the weak, a protector of the forsaken, a savior of those who are without hope. Yes, yes, God of my father and God of the inheritance of Israel, Lord of the heavens and of the earth, creator of the waters, king of every creature, hear my prayer. Make my speech and deceit to be their wound and stripe, who intend hard things against your covenant, your holy house, the top of Zion, and the house of the possession of your children. Make every nation and tribe of yours to know that you are God, the God of all power, might, and that there is none other that protects the race of Israel but you. Chapter 10. It came to pass that she had ceased to cry to the God of Israel, and had finished saying all these words, that when she was finished, she rose up where she had fallen down, called her maid, and went down into the house that she used to live in on Sabbath days and on her feast days. She pulled off the sackcloth which she had put on, took off the garments of her widowhood, washed her body all over with water, anointed herself with rich ointment, braided the hair of her head, and put a tiara on it. She put on garments of gladness, which she used to wear in the days of her life with Manasseh, her husband. She took sandals for her feet and put chains around her, and her bracelets, her rings, her earrings, and all her jewelry, and decked herself bravely to deceive the eye of all men who would see her. She gave her maid a leather container of wine and a flask of oil, and filled a bag with parched corn, lumps of figs, and fine bread. She packed all her vessels together and laid them on her. They went out to the gate of the city of Bethulia and found Ozias and the elders of the city, Chabras and Charmas, standing by it. But when they saw her, that her countenance was altered and her apparel had changed, they wondered at her beauty very exceedingly, and said to her, May the God of our fathers give you favor and accomplish your purposes, to the glory of the sons of Israel and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then she worshipped God and said to them, Command that they open the gate of the city for me, and I will go out to accomplish the things you spoke with me about. And they commanded the young men to open to her, as she had spoken, and they did so. Then Judith went out, she and her handmaid with her. The men of the city watched her until she had gone down the mountain, until she had passed the valley, and they could see her no longer. They went straight onward in the valley. The watch of the Assyrians met her, and they took her and asked her, Of what people are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? She said, I am a daughter of the Hebrews. I am fleeing away from their presence because they are about to be given to you to be consumed. I am coming into the presence of Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare words of truth. I will show him a way that he can go and win all the hill country, and there will not be lacking of his men one person nor one life. Now when the men heard her words and considered her countenance, the beauty thereof was exceedingly marvelous in their eyes. They said to her, You have saved your life, in that you have hurried to come down to the presence of our master. Now come to his tent. Some of us will guide you until they deliver you into his hands. But when you stand before him, do not be afraid in your heart, but declare to him according to your words, and he will treat you well. They chose out of them 100 men and appointed them to accompany her and her maid, and they brought them to the tent of Holofernes. And there was great excitement throughout the camp, for her coming was reported among the tents. They came and surrounded her as she stood outside Holofernes' tent until they told him about her. They marveled at her beauty and marveled at the sons of Israel because of her. Each one said to his neighbor, Who would despise this people that have among them such women? For it is not good that one man of them be left, saying that if they are let go, they will be able to deceive the whole world, the entire earth. Those who lay near Holofernes and all his servants went out and brought her into the tent. And Holofernes was rested on his bed under the canopy, which was woven with purple, gold, emeralds, and precious stones. And they told him about her, and he came out into the space before his tent, with silver lamps going before him. But when Judith had come before him and his servants, they all marveled at the beauty of her countenance. She fell down on her face and bowed down to him, but his servants raised her up. Chapter 11. Holofernes said to her, Woman, take courage. Do not be afraid in your heart, for I never hurt anyone who has chosen to serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of all the earth. And now, if your people who dwell in the hill country had not slighted me, I would have not lifted up my spear against them. But they have done these things to themselves. And now, tell me why you fled from them and came to us. For you have come to save yourself. Take courage. You will live tonight and hereafter. For there is no one that will wrong you, but all will treat you well, as is done to the servants of King Nebuchadnezzar my lord. And Judith said to him, Receive the words of your servant, and let your handmaid speak in your presence, and I will declare no lie to my lord this night. If you will follow the words of your handmaid, God will bring the things to pass perfectly with you, and my lord will not fail to accomplish his purposes. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, lives, and as his power lives, who has sent you for the preservation of every living thing, not only do men serve him by you, but also the beasts of the fields, the cattle, the birds of the sky will live through your strength. And in the time of Nebuchadnezzar and of all his house, for we have heard of your wisdom and the subtle plans of your soul. It has been reported in all the earth that you only are brave in all the kingdom, mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. And now, as concerning the matter which Achior spoke in your council, we have heard his words, for the men of Bethulia saved him, and he declared to him and all of them that he spoke before you. Therefore, O Lord and Master, do not neglect his word, but lay it upon your heart, for it is true. For our race will not be punished, neither with the sword it will not prevail against them, unless they sin against their God. And now that my Lord not be defeated and frustrated of his purpose, and that death may fall on them, their sin has overtaken them, with which they will provoke their God to anger whenever they do wickedness. Since their food failed them, and all their water was scant, they took counsel to lay hands on their cattle, and determined to consume all those things which God charged them by his laws that they should not eat. They are resolved to spend the first fruits of the corn, and the tenths of the wine and the oil which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests who stand before the face of our God in Jerusalem, which things it is not fitting for any of the people so much as to touch with their hands. They have sent some to Jerusalem, but they also that dwell there have done this thing to bring them permission from the council of elders. It will be, when word comes to them, and they do it, they will be given to you to be destroyed the same day. Therefore I, your servant, knowing all this, fled away from the presence. God sent me to work things with you, at which all the earth will be astonished, even as many as hear it. For your servant is religious and serves the God of heaven day and night. Now, my Lord, I will stay with you, and your servant will go out by night into the valley. I will pray to God, and he will tell me when they have committed their sin. Then I will come and show it also to you. Then you will go out with all your army, and there will be none of them that will resist you. And I will lead you through the midst of Judea until you come to Jerusalem. I will set your seat in the midst of it. You will drive them as sheep that have no shepherd, and a dog will not so much as open his mouth before you. For these things were told me according to my foreknowledge, and were declared to me, and I was sent to tell you. Her words were pleasing in the sight of Holofernes and of all his servants. They marveled at her wisdom and said, There is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other for beauty of face and wisdom of words. Holofernes said to her, God did well to send you before the people, that might would be in our hands, and destruction among those who slighted my Lord. And now you are beautiful in your countenance, and wise in your words. If you will do as you have spoken, your God will be my God, and you will dwell in the house of King Nebuchadnezzar, and will be renowned throughout the whole earth. Join me in the next video as we continue Judith and the complete 54 Book Apocrypha.